Again, on behalf of CAAOC, myself as Executive Director, Dr. Paul, Church on the Road, and everybody that has an incubator space here, thank you for making this event what it is today. Thank you for our wonderful panel of speakers. We really appreciate you. At this time, I'm going to go ahead and bring up my next guest, Miss Bridget Jackson. She's from Phenix City. We don't have a this involves children as well, and we have our own real case of JRA and JIA. Here's JIA in children. So Ms. Bridget is going to actually talk about her experience with her grandchild. So at this point, I'll exit and let her take the floor. Thank you. Well, hello, family. Hello. I'm going to talk about Kyree. We have a real case, real individual who struggles daily with JIA and FMF, familial Mediterranean fever. They're both related. They are inflammatory disorders associated with arthritis that causes inflammation throughout the body that affects the organs, kidneys, liver, lungs, eyes, and so forth. On this particular day here, Kyree was 2 years old. We didn't understand what was going on with him. He began to swell. His left arm here had swollen. At 4 months of age, Kyree will become very fussy, noisy at night. He will run temps of 101 up to 103.1. Still no diagnosis. Never knew at that time what we would be dealing with. We were not prepared for what we was told that he was diagnosed with. Here, Kyree would get a rash, to develop rash, and this is on the back. He would have it up on this upper torso as well, but this is a better, clearer picture here, where he would begin to flare, and it would cause pain. You couldn't touch him. He could only wear cotton clothing. Here is the JIA combined with the FMF. It affects his joints. His diet is a meat-based restrictive diet. No beef, no pork, no type of mammal meats could he have because it would produce a flare. And many of times the flare would be so painful, I would say, God, why him? Just give this pain to me. Just give it to me. Unbearable pain. It affected his eyes. He's been in glasses since he was 9 months of age due to the disease at that time. We still had not had a clear diagnosis. All we dealt with was symptoms. It was symptomatic. I'm grateful to know that there are testing where we were able to find out what was going on with him. I speculated, but what was my speculations? When you go into these doctors and they're saying, okay, there's nothing wrong with him. I demanded testing. We had an MEFV testing for a gene mutation to find out about the FMF, the periodic fever syndrome. There are testing available. If you don't ask, you don't get it. And we have one of the best insurance coverages there are. So my guess to anyone that deals with any ailment of the body, pressure your physician. Go to numerous physicians. Get what you need, and that's a clear diagnosis. Here, Kyree was right at 28 months, and he's swelling, just swelling. Oh, we don't know what's going on with him. I research, I read. That's very important. If you don't read, you don't know.
So my thing here, we struggled in and out with bouts of flares. Here, it was in both joints, both hands, and in his feet. It would not just attack one area of his body at that given time. It would be in multiple areas. Again, the feet. And it began here. It starts here. And then it moves up. There's just no telling whenever and where it would happen. It would just happen. We would never get like a warning. It would just happen. It would flare. Okay. We started off on several medications. We're down to 2 now. We're down to 2 because I made a choice. And the choice was to pay very close attention to what was going into his body. Therefore, I would know what to expect as far as pain, fever, nauseousness. Anything that dealt with him, I would know firsthand. If you give it to him, he's going to get sick. So he lives sort of in a bubble. His life is based on what we give him. Three years of age when we received a diagnosis for Kyree. This is a time where our family had to adjust. We had to adjust mentally, financially. We had to adjust overall throughout our day-to-day lives. I was a student in a medical school in Atlanta. When we gained custody of Kyree, I had to stop what I was doing because it was not about me. It was the choice of whether he lived or died. I made the choice, and the choice was to take care of our grandson. My husband said, if you will take him, keep him, I will take care of you. Stay home and keep him, and I'll take care of you. I said, well, you do that anyway. So, I mean, what am I gaining here? I end up gaining a child who needed me. And to be able to give him what it is that he needs, I gave myself more of what I needed, was more peace with God. So I say this to say to anyone, you never know what a person is going through. Be there to lift them up. You never know. You never know. This process took us to a place. It took us to a very long journey. And I'll say, you know, at the beginning, it wasn't good for me. But I will say this, it has taught me, it has really taught me more of, you will research, you will pay very close attention, and you will look at the labels, read what you're putting in your body. If it's on that bottle and you cannot pronounce it, you don't need to ingest it. I asked myself many of times, where do we go from here? How will we bring about awareness to others who may be in the face of JIA or FMA up close and personal, to the point to where you say, I wish it could have been me instead of him, or I wish it could have been me instead of them. This situation, again, took me to a place that I even begged God to allow my body to be wrecked with the pain instead of Kyree's. But I will say to all of you, pain is unbearable. No one knows your measure of pain. And with JIA, any type of arthritic condition, there's always going to be pain. Thank you all.
And he's such a cute little fellow, too. you can't imagine. I couldn't imagine being riddled with that kind of pain every night, especially in your child, knowing that your child is, being subjected to that type of pain and you can't do anything about it. I know there's a lot of mothers in here, and there's fathers who love their kids too, but nobody knows like a mother. The pain that your child goes through when you're up at night and you're holding your children and nothing you can do about it. So, and for you to experience that triple fold, I just couldn't imagine, and I just continue to pray for you. Did anybody have any questions for her?
As far as my research, what I did differently, I've had obviously many sleepless nights, because whenever he would get rest or wouldn't be in pain, that led me a lot of time to pay very close attention. A lot of my studying with this situation came from me monitoring him, paying very close attention to his activities. That was one. Me just staying guarded, that was another one. And then, like I said, whatever it was that he ingested or put in his body, I had to be on guard to say, okay, well, what am I going to do? I wasn't willing for him to get sick by just allowing him to eat sugars. That is one of the worst downfalls for anyone with any type of joint ailment. I focused on the betterment of the situation as to pull out starches. Certain different things from his diet would be starches. There would be times as to our hand washing technique. That's one important thing. And then to get back to your question, my overall encounter was to developed a very strong relationship with his providers. That entailed me to be able to talk with them and come up with a dialogue. So in that, with me being able to develop that relationship, instead of just taking him to the doctor, letting them diagnose him, letting them prescribe this medication, I asked questions. Okay, what is going to happen? What is the longevity? He's now on Enbrel and methotrexate. He was taking like 5 different drugs a day, 3-4 times a day. He takes 2 medications per day. Well, actually, he takes 2 injections Tuesday and he take 2 on Tuesday and he take 1 on Saturday. That is a better plan than what he was on previously by me changing his diet. No meat, none whatsoever. Any mammal meats, they're bad for his body. So with me changing the course of what he was ingesting, even though the nutritionist was saying, okay, give him this type of meat, you can feed him so much meat per day. And I'm saying, okay, do you not understand? You are in it for a job, for a paycheck. I'm in it for his life. So as I go forth to make sure that he's okay, this is what we're going to do. Now you say, okay, feed him this XYZ. I say, no, I'm going to feed him A. Okay? So we stay with fruit, vegetables, no whole wheat. Whole wheat is not the thing for the body, So we stay with the better foods. It's costly, but what you pay for is what you get.
Thank you.
You're welcome.